Guys, you're welcome to Send Farms. My name is God Sent of Send Farms, and today's video we are going to be talking about quail birds. And in this episode, I want to share with you um, 7 things that you really need to know about quails before you go into raising quails. The first one is going to be the fact that quails really do not need much daily attention. Unlike the chicken, that you really have to do a huge daily routine to keep them well and healthy and in a productive state. Quails do not really need that much daily attention. All you just need to do, choose a very good functional caging system that is automated, especially with the watering system and the feeder located outside, the watering system being automatic, and you have the automatic egg rollout. If you have a very good functional caging system like that, you spend nothing more than 3 minutes taking care of these guys on a daily basis. 3 minutes, I tell you, 3 minutes cumulatively on a daily basis. 3 minutes. Now let me take my routine for example. In the morning, all I just need to do, I come here, I give them food, and then I leave. Later in the evening, I come back here, pick my eggs that have been rolled out already. Very easy. Pick my eggs, replace the water against the next day, that is giving them fresh water on a daily basis. Replace the water on the next day, collect my eggs, and I'm out of here. So in a whole day, I don't spend more than 3 minutes taking care of these guys, except for the days that I have to take care of their poop, their droppings, and that is not even up to 5 minutes activity. So quails are very less demanding of your care and attention. Now the second thing I want to put to your notice for you to know before you go into raising quail is that for a family of 4, if you have to plan for a family of 4, you're going to be needing nothing less than 25 quail birds to meet up that family of 4, because 3 quail eggs equates 1 chicken egg, and 2 quail bird meat when processed is enough to satisfy 1 person. So satisfying 1 person, you need 2 quail bird meat processed. Then as for the eggs, you need 3 quail eggs to equate 1 chicken egg. So you need nothing less than 25 quail birds to meet up with that family demand. I'm going to do an exclusive video on some of these things I'm going to be telling you, because then I'm going to be going into details, doing the calculation for you, so that you know how we arrived at those numbers. Then the first thing you should know about, especially this Japanese quail, this is the Cottonix brown quail. The first thing you want to know about them is that they lay all year round, and they lay about 300 eggs on the average, about 300 eggs all throughout the year. And as this going to the second year, their egg production actually starts declining, but that first year you're getting nothing less than 300 eggs from one quail in a year. Now as from that second year, you'll be thinking of culling those old ones and replacing the stock, so you always get maximum output from your quails. So that is one thing. The third thing you should know about the Cottonix quail. And the fourth thing you want to know about the Cottonix quail is that these guys really do not require that much space. I've talked a bit about their space requirements in one of the video in this channel, but I'm not going to dive in deep into it right now. But what I have here, I just have 36 quails in this 6 feet long by 3 feet wide, then by 1 feet height. I just have 36 quail in here right now, and this can actually hold up to 100 quail. So I still have room for expansion in here, you know. Now, that being said, the fifth thing I want you to know before about the Japanese quail is that these guys are messy eaters. I tell you, they are messy eaters. What I mean by being messy is that they can be wasteful eaters, because they will just dig into the food. If you don't have a well planned food tray, they're going to dig into the food and just mess up the whole food, trying to dig out for certain ingredients that interest them. Other ingredients, they are just going to be tossing it out of the food tray. That is if your food tray is not deep enough to retain uh, the food. Let me get you closer to see how we've designed our food tray to actually minimize. Yes, I don't really think you can stop it, but you can minimize the volume of wastage that these guys will be producing as a result of them eating. Let me get you guys close so you can see it. Now you see this is our food tray, and this is one of the factors that we have put in place to curb that wastage. So we have to put this 1 by 2 inch wire mesh, so that they don't have enough space to shake their head side to side, because that is when they actually dig in and trying to dig for certain ingredients. So you minimize the space for them to just dip in their head and eat from it. In that way, it reduces the feed wastage from them, and also they are not being able to go in there, and because they love to sandbait, they might want to use the food to sandbait as well. So this actually reduce that chance of them to sandbait. Then also this one as well, this feeder as well, also plays a very good role in reducing the feed wastage. This is a chicken feeder that I'm using as well, but this one was customized by myself. This is a DIY, and I intend to improve on it. So let me place the camera back. That is another thing that you should know about them. They are messy eaters. So now, that being said, the next thing you want to know about the Cotonic squirrel is that they can become they can be aggressive certain times, and some of the reasons that actually sparks their aggression is: one, if there's no food on their feed tray and they are hungry, they become territorial. Then they start pecking on each other. That is when you find them giving each other injury, pecking on each other's eyes, pecking on each other's back of head, and that can be really, really bloody. I have seen it, and it's not a pretty sight at all. So you always want to make sure there is food on their food tray and there is water as well. That will solve that issue of aggression as a result of lack of food or water. Now, the second reason why they can become aggressive and take on each other is, especially with the roosters, they can be feisty and highly aggressive, trying to fight for the right to mate. Now, the mistake you want to do is to have too many roosters in your quail pen. Yeah, the standard ratio of a rooster to hen is 1 rooster to 5 hen, 1 rooster to service 5 hen. So if I have 20 hen here, I'm going to be needing 4 roosters to service that 20 hen. In that way, there is enough to go around, so there won't be issues or minimal issues. But that will take us to the next reason why a rooster can become aggressive. There are some roosters that are just generally aggressive towards every other roosters. It's just in their gene. So what you do in that situation, if you have an over aggressive rooster in such a situation, you just take that aggressive rooster out and call that rooster for meat. But if you have the right ratio of 5 to 1, then there shouldn't be issue of fights as a result of rights to mate. Then the other reason why your quails can be aggressive is that the hens can just gang up and decide to go against a particular rooster that they don't really appreciate or they don't like. So they'll gang up against him, beat the hell out of him, peck the hell out of him, get him injured, and hope he dies, because that is what they do. They will just injure that particular quail that falls prey or falls victim, and they'll continue to peck on the injury. Even while it's bleeding, they continue to peck on it until probably it finally gives up. Now the last thing you need to know about raising a cotoonic squirrel is that you have to be a DIY, not necessarily a DIY professional, but there are certain things that you need to be handy with, you need to do yourself, that actually minimize the cost of housing them. Though they have a lesser cost of housing a quail, you really do not spend that much to house them. But if you can do certain things yourself, you will actually beat down the cost more, making it more and more less expensive to house them. This cage you're seeing here is a DIY product of Scent. I did this cage myself and I hope to improve on it. So it's just the materials that were available around that I just used. Some of this wire cloth, some of these wire meshes were what I actually bought to use for my rabbit cage. So the need just came and I just have to do with what I have. Bought some wood and brought them together, and this is what we have here. But going forward, I'm going to be improving on this to make sure that I give these birds a better and a well-functional caging system, which will also make my work a lot more easier and less time demanding. So guys, these are some of the 7 things on this episode that you need to know about the Japanese quail or quail in general before you start raising your quail. So I see you in the next video. If you're new to this channel, please do well to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get growing as you grow your farm with Scent Farms. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye guys. Cheers.